Thank you. Now that was a feeling. So, the first thing I'd like to say, I'm the third woman on the stage, and there is a big part of me that feels incredibly proud for my daughters, to show them what is possible when you love truthfully as a woman. And the love of a woman is so important for men. So togetherness is why I stand here. Love has to be present for anything to be felt. I would love to stand here and say that togetherness is why we are all here. Would you agree? Yep. So, the talk, God, I look good on there. Wow, filters. So, the talk very much, no hiding up here with that light. The talk is very much around the truth of being. And be careful when you ask for the truth, because it can be brutal. We say we want it, but the work involved in it is huge. There will be nowhere to hide. There will be nothing that won't come. And you will have to face it because you asked for the truth. So be prepared. What I've really wanted to do is, how many of you have seen the film The Matrix? Just raise your hands if you've seen The Matrix. Some of you have, some of you haven't. Those of you who haven't, I would recommend you watch it, very much around being. But there's a character in it, the main character, and he is called Neo. And it's Keanu Reeves. And there's a section where he is plugged in at the back of his neck. And I won't spoil it for you, but he says, I just learned Kung Fu. I'm going to teach you Kung Fu of being. By the end of this, I am going to give you a gift to every single one of you that will keep you on track in the Kung Fu of being. Guaranteed. So, yeah, thank you very much. So, with that said, there's a part that has totally and utterly escaped my head. And I thought, no, I can do this without notes. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Wrong. Because I just looked at Dominic. I thought, if Dom can do it, I can do it. No, sorry, Dom. You're a bigger man than me. So, listening. Shit, I thought it was easy. Sorry, kids. Listening without love is empty sound. Listening from love is understanding. How did I get to stand here? Firstly, I came to London and I was sitting in the audience like you. And I was like, wow, look at all these people. I had a very tough background. I didn't have family. And then I stumbled across you guys. And I say you guys, us guys, we together. But to be loved by you in the way that you love is family. It's unbelievable. So I came to London and I got loved. And I wanted more. I wanted more and more and more, and I wanted to be that love for another person because it felt so good. I'd like you to raise your hands, and those of you who don't raise your hands, look around the room. Can you raise your hand if I have loved you in some way? That's so cool. I have done that from who I am being. I haven't necessarily worked with hardly any of you, but I have loved you. I have seen you. I have heard you. And I have really allowed myself to spend time with you in one way or another. I would like to spend time with every single one of you. The reason being is when you feel loved, seen and heard, there's nothing like it. It's incredible. Steve Hardison gave me his ring. He didn't give it to me, I had to earn it. He didn't just give it to me. He said to me, well, first of all, I walked in a room, we got a phone call and we said, Steve Hardison and Karan, oh, he was there, he's not there now, are in the lobby and you need to get there and you have 7 minutes. And it was like, oh my God, leave everything, running across. And we walk into the foyer of the London event and Steve's sitting there and the rest of the eights. And if you need to know the story, there is a podcast in the podcast group about it. And the first thing Steve Hardison says to me is, wow. And I'm like, what did I do? And he just said, wow. And I felt so seen in a way that I'd not been seen before. I couldn't even hold it. I didn't know what to do with it, so I sort of shriveled in it. We had the organised event and he told us the story of the Enneagram ring and he asked us all for one word, go, of what this ring will represent for you. And the story is around him living his A game, living a life of pure service, love, and to never have regret. So, imagine yourself there. You're in the awe of everything. You know, it's the event. And then he says, give me one word, go. What would your word be? Don't shout it out, but just think to yourself. He said, go. You haven't got time to think. What would your word have been? That you would hold an A game in life and be the truth at every given moment you possibly can to create this amount of love from your way of being. Would any of you have said love? Raise your hands. Yeah? Would any of you have said power? Peace? What do you think my word was? Wow. I do say that a lot. No. Yes. Legacy. I wanted to commit to a legacy of living and loving well with no regret. This morning, the first person I sent a message to was Steve Hardison. I didn't know he was going to be here. But what I woke up to was an appreciation for being part of something that had me in it, fully, truthfully, who embraced me for who I am and who I am being in full potential. I sent a message to say, Steve, 2 years ago, I made you a promise to be the best 8 Enneagram I could be, and I will stand on that stage today. And I will promise you that I will love into the legacy that you created for as long as I can. And then he turned up and I was like, shit, I could have just told him. But who knew? But what I'm showing you here is a way of being isn't here, isn't this. This is probably easier, but it's when no one's looking. It's when it's tough. Any of you parents in here, it's tough. Any of you in relationships and marriages, it's tough. Business owners, coaches, it's tough. There isn't a time when it won't be tough. Who are you being in that moment? I'm going to show you a clip. I found this on my iPad of my daughter who was just over 3. I didn't know it existed. And I'm going to share it with you to show you, because it's easy to say it up here. It's like I got a book and I've written it out and I've had a whole year to get ready. But the truth is, I want to show you the truth of my life, of my way of being. Because if you see the truth in me, you'll be more of the truth in you. So I'm going to show you a clip. Guys, so this is a clip that I found on my iPad of my youngest daughter at 3 years old. Just take a look at this.
Hi guys, I'm Sienna, and I just want to tell you that don't put pressure on you too much. So I'm going to do like calmness and really good things that keep you like happy and not scared. So confidence. You need to be brave to do that. If you want it that much, you get it yourself without any help. But if you don't want it that much, then... But if you want it that much and you don't work hard for it, then you're not going to get it, are you? So you need to be brave and confident. If you want it that much, get it. That's two things. Okay. And I just want to say, don't let fear stop you doing the thing you love. Do not let fear stop you doing the thing that you love. Okay? Because I think that... Well, I don't think, I know that you've got it inside you. You can do it, but you're just choosing not to. And you never say, if you struggle to do something, you don't say this, I can't do it. You say, I can't do it yet. That's okay, but don't say can't. Can't's not a word in my family. And the other thing I wanted to tell you is, it doesn't matter what other people think. That's what you think, what you like. So my sister, I found this dress and I absolutely loved it. At my age, yeah? And I went to Next today, bought 3 things, 2 dresses and 1 pair of shorts. And guess what? Go today, look for that dress and it's not there. But my sister didn't like it. But I really did and I wanted to get it. But I didn't because she wouldn't get it for me. My nan would because she was there. But my sister didn't like it, but I was like, I really like it. So go today, go find that dress, it's not there. Yeah? It's not there. So then, get 2 dresses. But I really wanted that. So what I'm saying is, if other people don't like it, and you do, you get it. Yeah? It doesn't matter what other people think. It's what you think. I love it. I'm really good. I'm not
Done.
Woo!
How amazing. That is what happens when you be love consistently. You couldn't make a child do that. You couldn't get that into somebody through intention. There is mirroring happening all the time. I mirrored something of strength, integrity, love, and wish and want in London 2 years ago. I actually messaged Steve when the event was happening saying, I've got a great story of my son and he was diagnosed with autism and they said to me that he would never go to mainstream school and he would never make friends and he wouldn't talk because he was non-verbal and he wouldn't say he loves me. And guess what? He's now the UK British gymnastics Olympic champion in training. And Steve said, I'm not in charge of the speakers. And I said, okay. I spoke something into creation. It was a wish and a want from love. Never underestimate the power of that, because I stand here today because at that event, Matt Evans, who is also an 8, saw me. And Matt Evans then said, I would like you on stage. I was like, what? Wow. That's incredible. Are you sure? You sure? And I remember when I was younger thinking, I want to be a singer, I want to be on stage, I want to do ballet. I was too fat for ballet. I got chucked out, too heavy. I want to sing. I had no singing voice. And I was like, I want to be a stand-up comedian. That would be fun. I can do that. What do you call a nun on a bicycle? Virgin Mobile. just had to give it a go. Come on, it's a childhood dream. So, there's so many things available to us, but how brave are you going to be? So I want to give you a story which was my first talk ever. I was in NLP and I had a lot of trauma, and I thought, do I give a presentation on my alcoholic mum, self-harming, abusive dad, rape, homelessness, sad stories? I've got loads of them. No. So I gave this story, and I'm going to give it to you. And I'm hoping that you can hear this from love to give you something that will move you forwards. There was a toy store in the UK, big toy store called Toys R Us. In the States or other, just the really grand toy stores, toy shops. So I take in my non-verbal child, Ronnie, my middle son, and of course, he used to just play fanatically with cars, and he would just line them up and just do this for ages. So we went in to buy a little car. Has anybody taken a child in a toy store with the intention to get a little toy? You never get a little toy. So we're going along, and he sees the biggest Tonka truck you've ever seen. And he's, and you're like, oh my God, no. Okay, well look, keep looking. It's £50. I do not want to pay £50 for a Tonka truck. So we try and divert him. Have you ever tried to divert a child who sees a big, red, shiny 50-quid truck? It's not happening. Parents are looking. I know what's going to come next, and it gets louder, and I'm like, get the truck down. We'll take it to the till. I'll divert him when we get home. At least we'll be away from the judgment of other parents. Have you ever been that parent looking at that whinging child going, and you're like, do something. And you're like, I know. Please stop looking. So we take the truck home. The plan was, when he gets in, you get his other toys. I will put the Tonka truck back in the boot of the car. I'll take it back. Have you ever been with your partner where you have a plan and it goes to shit? That's what happened. I come in the house after taking everything from the car, and the box is ripped open and the child's halfway in the box. He's in it. I'm like, we had a plan. He's like, I know, I'm sorry. So the Tonka truck. This Tonka truck, literally, you pulled it back. Does anybody know Tonka trucks? Where you pull them back like this and it goes, it's amazing. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. This Tonka truck was put through his paces by my son. It was thrown, it was dropped, it was picked up, and it was dropped. It was thrown down the stairs, and every time that Tonka truck got pulled back, it was incredible. I was like, wow. We went on holiday, and he dropped it from the balcony like behind us, and literally he took it to the next level, and it smashed down. The door fell off, a wheel fell off. We ran down because he loved it, and I thought, the Tonka truck's gone. It did it, and I was like, what? How the hell did that survive that? Put the wheel back on, door went back on, dented, scratched, still did. For 6 months, for a year, for 18 months, for 2 years. Then my daughter was born, and then my son went on to iPads and technology, and then my daughter took a fancy to it. And literally, she then put it through the paces. Girls and toys and trucks, she was determined to put this through everything. Threw it down the stairs, literally smashed into it, and that Tonka truck. And I thought, Mattel, who made that Tonka truck, knew that that truck was going to be put through its paces. I believe that God created us knowing we were going to go through some things. Every single one of you was going to go through something. And when you were created, God thought, he's going to go through bullying at school. He's going to go through seeing his mum be beaten. He may lose her father. I'm going to give this man courage. I'm going to give this man humility. She's going to go through something. She's going to be raped. And I'm going to make sure that she has the balls and the courage to rise. I believe every single one of us was given some kind of gifts to go through what you are meant to go through, in the same way that the Tonka truck, every single one of you keeps going, because you were made for a really good reason. You are here to serve, you are here to lead, and you are here to love. There is a reason you're here today. And I want to say to you, be the Tonka that you were born to be, and just keep moving. One sec. I said to you, I've just got one. I said to you, sorry, that was a good bit. I could have ended there, but I've got something special. I promised you a gift. Please bear with me, and I'd like you to open up your hearts and be with every word of this. This is the gift of the truth of being. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for. And if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longings. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dreams, for your adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets square up to your moon. I want to know if you have been touched by the center of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with your pain and mine without moving to hide it, fade it, or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own. If you can dance with the wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it's not pretty, every day. And if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout into the silver of the moon, yes! It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what's needed to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know and how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the fire, the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside. When all else falls away, I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you can truly, truly like the company in which you keep in the empty moments. And with that, I promised you the kung fu of being. This is called the invitation. And on every single table, there is an envelope with other envelopes in that contains this invitation. It's an invitation to you to remember to stay on your own path, to live and love well, because that's why we're here. Thank you. Thank you.